We got ourselves a rental boat this morning to go check out the Beratan Temple through the water. For the cheap price that we were willing to pay, they said you guys take the boat yourselves and paddle your own self. Here we go! On the water, paddling our own canoe on the Beratan Lake. The town of Bedugul. We're getting closer. Built in 1663, this temple is used for offering ceremonies to the water, lake, and a river goddess, Dwi Danu, one of the supreme deities of Balinese tradition. The Beratan Temple. Water temples serve the entire region in the outflow area. Downstream, there are many smaller water temples for each specific irrigation association, also known as subak. The subak is a water management system of rice fields, which is over 1,000 years old. It organizes all activities related to rice cultivation, from water distribution and maintenance of irrigation infrastructure to conflict resolution and religious ceremonies. I was trying to be discreet filming these students waiting to start their PE class, but they caught me and they were happy to pose for the camera. You rock, girls. Before we continue on our way, we sit down for a bite at the warung of Ibu Ramli. We're having some breakfast here in Bedugul. Breakfast in Indonesia is different than what people in the West might be used to. Rice, of course, comes with every meal, even with breakfast. We have some rice, we have some egg, some spicy chicken, and this is called tempe, which is deep fried peanuts. And they went to get us some Bali coffee, which is a strong, black, muddy coffee with a big sediment of mud on the bottom when you finish drinking that you need to watch out for. It was a delicious breakfast, and since the restaurant wasn't busy, I had a chance to speak with the chef personally.
Di mana belajar masuk makanan?
Udah dari kecil, dari nenek moyang.
Biasanya berapa banyak yang datang kalau dalam banyak rame?
Tergantung kalau rame. Bilang aja aku bahasa Inggrisnya, tergantung kalau rame. Kalau sepi bisa 20 porsi. Kalau rame ya nggak bisa dihitung ramenya.
Ibu memang pengen masak atau punya cita-cita lain dari masak?
Oh iya. Memang punya cita-cita lain.
Apa sih?
Saya sekolah sarjana S1 hukum. Jadi di sini saya bantu ibu saya.
Bukan tahu Indonesia kayak gini sekarang, Bu. Apa yang mau Ibu lakuin tentang Indonesia? Tanggapan Ibu apa tentang Indonesia? Kenapa?
Ya harapannya Indonesia ke depan dari segi tatanan
kedepannya
hukum.
korupsi ini bisa ditumpah semua. Jadi Indonesia bisa lebih baik lagi. Karena kita sebagai rakyat kecil kan nggak bisa ngomong apa lagi, cuma bisa ngomong di belakang aja. Mana mau mereka dengar omongan kita rakyat kecil kan?
Kalau ini ulang tahun, Bu, Ibu ngerayainnya apa enggak, Bu?
Ngerayainnya aja, syukuran gitu. Bilang aja kayak gitu.
Nah,
Nggak ngerayain besar-besaran, nggak. Tapi secara berdoa aja.
Ibu punya hobi nggak?
Iya.
Apa?
Saya punya hobi rias pengantin. Sekarang saat ini saya kursus rias wajah, rias kecantikan.
Oh, dia mau nanya, ibu punya berapa pasang sepatu?
Saya punya berapa pasang sepatu? Satu, cukup satu.
Enough.
Yang
Let us
lain
say-
tabung.
It's enough to have one pair of shoes. You don't need more than one pair of shoes. Managed to stop a ride, and we're traveling in style today. Air-conditioned van, all the way to Ubud. All right, we made it to Ubud, and this fine gentleman has agreed to rent us a scooter for 2 days for a very nice price, only $4 a day. So it takes a big chunk of our budget, but we'll be able to move around easily around this area. There's lots to see around Ubud. It's this cultural center of Bali. So here we go. Since we got the bike for 24 hours, we'll count it as $2 for today, $2 for tomorrow. Here we go. Stopping for some gas. This is the local version of a scooter gas station. Makasih. Pumped and ready to go. 50 cents should carry us all the way to Tagalalan. Along the road, I witnessed some amazing decorations made out of palm fronds, displaying an amazing weaving skill. I also witnessed the amazing skill of packing up your whole store on top of a scooter. We are in Tagalalang. This is one of the areas that is famous for rice growing, and you can see behind me the rice terraces. The rice is a staple food all over Asia. Here in Indonesia, with almost every meal, you'll get some rice. Indonesia is the third largest producer of rice in the world, making the production of rice an important part of the nation's economy. It's the main ingredient of almost every Indonesian meal and accounts for more than half the calories of an average diet. It's estimated that in the late 80s, rice cultivation was the source of livelihood for about 100 million people, which is more than half of the country's population back then. The people that work here in the rice fields have been kind enough to build a bridge, the bridge that you saw me crossing on, as a donation for them taking care of these rice fields, hosting the tourists here, hosting the foreigners, and maintaining the bridge. They asked for a donation. We got a coconut, cost us 75 cents. Enak. Enak sekali. Siapa namanya?
Pak Misi,
Pak Misi. Nama saya Shelah. Salam kenal. Apa umur?
sudah 75.
75. Berapa tahun kerja di sini?
Sudah ada 50 tahun.
50 tahun. Anak-anak?
Ya, sudah 2.
Dua. Ya.
Untuk 5.
Dari uang dari jual ini Pak, biasanya dapat berapa?
Dapat 25.
25,000.
Oh, so 25,000.
I keep asking myself, how the hell does one live on such a minimal salary? How does 80% of the planet manage to survive off less than $10 a day? While in the US, an average person will easily spend over $100 a day. So how is it possible? Well, firstly, the cost of living here is much cheaper, but that alone is not enough. I think that the key difference is not wanting more than what you need, and being happy with the little that you have. While an average Indonesian owns 1 pair of shoes, it's estimated that an average American woman owns no less than 20 pairs of shoes. If you don't believe me, you're welcome to go count for yourselves. This piece here gives a whole new meaning to the term disco balls.
After checking many places here in Ubud, we finally found a place that was barely within our budget. We found a room for $3. It's got a fan, it's got a sink, and even has a mirror. It's broken, but it's a mirror. We found a nice place in the middle of the rice fields, and tonight I'm gonna try another one of Indonesia's favorite dishes. It's called a capcay, which is mixed vegetables stir-fried with chicken. Comes with white rice, a little bit of fried shallots on top, and have a little dish here of sambal. It's the spicy, very spicy chili sauce, and a few little pickled vegetables to go with it.
After dinner, we scooter off to the little village of Petulu, famous for the huge colony of herons which made their home in the village trees. As the story goes, the herons, or kokokan as they're known here, started arriving in 1965 while the villagers were having a large ceremony in their temple. Because of that, it was considered to be a blessing from the gods. Ever since, the kokokan have been bringing good fortune to the village, most recently in the form of tourists along with their cash.
We're not allowed to film this, but cockfight is about to take place here, and this is one of the champions. I want to see a fair fight. Touch gloves.
Cockfighting is an old tradition in Bali that dates back over 1,000 years. Although unofficial, unauthorized cockfights are against the law, fighting is still allowed at religious events. They are practiced as an ancient religious purification ritual to expel evil spirits. It's a religious obligation at every Balinese temple, and without the religious purpose, it would be considered gambling and therefore illegal.
What you see behind me is not a temple, this is actually an entrance to a neighborhood. There's just 5 homes behind me, yet this is how extravagant the entrance to this little street is. On the gate, there are these black plaques that you see. Each home gets a black plaque that describes the name of the family, how many males, how many females, how many total people live in each household. This is the proper Balinese way to carry your offerings for the gods, going to temple.
Carrying the offerings on top of the head is very common and practiced from a very young age. And not just offerings for the gods, but also for the livestock. And before calling it a day, we used the last 35 cents of our daily budget to put some more gas in the scooter. The sun is setting on day number 6, and we follow the offerings as they travel to the local temple. There we get a chance to catch a glimpse of a Balinese ceremony and a peek into the spiritual nature of the Balinese people.